Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Today I want to discuss with you my opinion about Ukraine's peace process. So let's get started. First of all, the situation in Ukraine continues to deteriorate, and this is mainly because of the following points I'm going to mention. There is a high casualty rate of military personnel. It has been reported by Ukrainian authorities that between 500 and 1,000 men are lost every day. And this includes, of course, people who get wounded or die during the conflict. There's been reports of very low ammunition levels, low heavy weapon levels, including artillery pieces and any other kinds of heavy weaponry. There's a low level of communication equipment. This has been reported on numerous occasions where people in the front lines are not able to communicate with their commanders. There is a very low number of Air Force units, if any are left. There is a low number of anti-air defense units, which of course means that Ukraine is not able to defend their own military installations. There's a high rate of new untrained recruits that are being sent to the front lines, and this is of course very negative because nobody wants to die and there is not enough training for all these new recruits, so they reach the front lines, and of course there's going to be a high desertion rate. There's very low morale, and of course there is also low morale between the troops that are still in the front lines because there is not enough information, and there's many factors that really overall come to the point where there is very low morale in the Ukrainian army. So this is my prediction. Given the current situation in the Ukrainian conflict, this will reach a tipping point where it's no longer possible to sustain, to continue fighting, so the army will break down, and this will come very suddenly. I cannot predict exactly when this is going to happen, but it will reach a point where the army is unable to continue fighting whatsoever, and this will cause a mass surrendering of troops. And of course, as a consequence of this, there will be the absolute defeat of the Ukrainian state and the capitulation, which will in turn result in the peace deal, which is absolutely necessary at this point. And this is the list of peace terms that I think Ukraine might want to impose on the Ukrainian state. First of all, unconditional surrender, recognition of independence for the DPR and LPR. This is part of the stated goals from the start of the military operation from Russia. They were interested in liberating the Donbass, so that will take care of this goal. Renounce to all territory lost to Russia up to the moment of surrender. This is variable. Up to the moment, Russia has captured most of the southern part of the Ukrainian territory, and this will continue to grow as they pass. So at the moment of surrender, it will be impossible to recover this territory, and Ukraine should renounce to all of this territory. So that will of course include Crimea or any other territory that has not been recognized as such previously. Military organizations will be abolished in perpetuity in Ukraine. So this will take care of the demilitarization of Ukraine. Of course, I'm mentioning all military organizations, including the Army, Navy, Air Force, and any other organizations that might come into consideration in the same category. There should be a nationwide referendum about whether to join Russia in all Ukrainian cities. So if any Ukrainian city wishes to become part of the Russian Federation, they should be allowed to do it. Of course, previously with a referendum. There should be prohibition of Nazi ideology, so this will take care of all the objectives that they stated at the start of the military operation, including denazification. War crimes trials, this will take place, of course, because it's necessary to do it, to give people justice. There should be permanent Russian military bases in major areas of the country. And this is necessary because the Ukrainian state cannot be trusted. They have repeatedly stated their goals of joining NATO even after the conflict ends. So, in my opinion, Ukraine state cannot be trusted, and this should be something necessary to ensure that Ukraine will never revolt or try to rearm again and become again a problem for the security of Russian state. There is a precedent to these kind of things. For example, what happened in Germany after the end of the Second World War, and in Japan. Up to this day, these countries are still occupied. There are military bases from the United States in both of these countries. So I think this will be necessary for Russia to ensure their own security goals. It's something that will, of course, guarantee that there is a prohibition to join any military blocs. So this will be guaranteed as well. And minority groups will have the right to education in their own language. And this is also necessary because after when they threw up the government when they overthrew the government of Yanukovych, they started attacking all minorities in the country, not only the Russian minorities, but also Romanian minorities, Hungarian, or any other groups. They are not allowed to receive education in their own language, so they just wanted to impose Ukrainian language or Ruthenian language, like I repeatedly call, because this is, in my opinion, not a language that represents the majority of the Ukrainian people. But anyway, they were trying to impose this language on everyone and forbidding them from using their own language for legal purposes or even for education, literature, or anything of that sort. So that's my opinion. I urge you to give me your opinion on these terms, and if you have some more ideas, suggestions, or you can just discuss what is your opinion about these points. So that's all I wanted to say for now. And as always, I ask you to please like this video, share it in social media, and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for watching.